Hello, sea otters. Whether you're somebody who's been at home all through the lockdown or somebody who's been coming to school some of the time, it's really lovely for me to have a chance to read you a story. That's what I'm going to do on this video. I've chosen a book by Browne. He's an author you might have come across before, and it's a book called Silly Billy, about a little boy, Billy, who's a little bit of a worrier. And I did think maybe at the moment you have some worries, especially if you've not been able to see your friends, you've not been able to come to school, you might be feeling a little bit worried. And I thought maybe by reading this story, we can think about how Billy dealt with his worries, and maybe that will be something that's a bit helpful for you. I hope so. And if not, just enjoy the story. It's a good one. Starts here, look, doesn't look very happy, does he? Billy used to be a bit of a worrier. He worried about many things. Look, he's in bed. That's often a place where people tend to worry, isn't it? Billy worried about hats. Now, if you can see, there's lots and lots of hats hovering around his head in bed, which wouldn't be very nice if that happened, would it? And he worried about shoes. And again, there's lots of shoes flying through the window into his bedroom. Billy worried about clouds. Wouldn't really want that big grey cloud above your head in bed, would you? And rain. Lots of it coming through the ceiling. Billy even worried about giant birds. It's so giant, the bird is taking Billy away through the window. Not good, not a good worry. His dad tried to help. "Don't worry, lad," he said. "None of those things could happen. It's just your imagination." His mum tried too. "Don't worry, love," she said. "We won't let anything hurt you." Do you think that's going to help? We'll see, shall we? Quite a grey picture with Billy in a big bed on his own, looking rather, you've guessed it, worried. But still Billy worried. One night he had to stay with his grandma, but Billy couldn't sleep. He was too worried. He always worried about staying at other people's houses. Billy felt a bit silly, but at last he got up and went to tell his grandma, which seems to me to be a very good idea, and I hope she can help reassure him. He does feel silly, doesn't he, about his worries. Poor Billy. Here's Grandma. "Well, fancy that, love," she said. "You're not silly. When I was your age, I used to worry like that. I've got just the thing for you." Oh, she's kind, isn't she? I wonder what she's going to come up with. Have a little look at the picture of the hand, and can you see, if I hold it like that, what's on the hand? I'll read it to you. She went into her room and came out holding something. "These are worry dolls," she explained. "Just tell each of them one of your worries and put them under your pillow. They'll do all the worrying for you while you sleep." Wow, that's a clever idea. And there he is. Do you think he looks a little bit happier? Looks like, doesn't it? Billy told all his worries to the worry dolls, and he slept like a log, which I bet you can guess meant he slept really well, really deeply. The next morning, Billy went home. That night, he again told all his worries to the dolls. He slept like a stone. I wonder if that's better than sleeping like a log, I'm not sure. The next night, Billy slept well, and the night after that. So it looks like all of those worries have gone and been dealt with the worry dolls. Shall we see? Oh, not looking so good, is it? But the night after that, Billy started to worry. He couldn't stop thinking about the dolls. All those worries he'd given them. They must be so worried. It didn't seem fair. Oh dear. So we've got Colin, Polly, Lizzie, Mary, Sammy and Teddy, all his worry dolls, and he's imagining that they're worried now. This worry thing is a bit catching, isn't it? What's going to happen now, I wonder? Let's see. The next day, Billy had an idea. He spent all day working at the kitchen table. It was difficult work, and at first he made lots of mistakes and had to start again many times. But finally Billy produced something very special. Can you see on his kitchen table? Have a guess what you think he might be doing. You'll see now. Can you see what he's made? Some worry dolls. 4 the worry dolls. There's loads of them, look. I think one of my favourites here is there's a little Elvis, and then there's a Martin with check trousers, and I do like Anna's stripy skirt there. Lots and lots of worry dolls. Does he look happier? I think so. That night everyone slept well. Billy and all the worry dolls. Phew. And after that, Billy didn't worry very much at all. And neither did his friends. Billy made worry dolls for all of them. Wow, loads and loads of worry dolls for his friends, can you see? So it's not just Billy who'd sorted out his worries, he'd shown his friends a great strategy for dealing with your worries. I'm going to read you the end of the book. It's not a part of the story, it's some information. So here's the information and I'll just read it to you. It tells you where the story and the idea came from. Worry dolls come from the Central American country of Guatemala. They are made from tiny pieces of wood and scraps of cloth and thread. Long ago, the children of Guatemala made these dolls, and when they went to bed at night, they would tell a worry to each one before placing them under their pillows and going to sleep. In this way, they would wake up in the morning feeling much less troubled. To this day, children in Guatemala trust their dolls to take away their worries as they sleep. And this custom has now spread around the world. So that's interesting, isn't it? I thought that actually Anthony Browne got the idea for the story from something that really happens. And if you're somebody that's got some worries, especially at night, I thought maybe you could try Billy's strategy and make some of your own worry dolls. But of course, there's all sorts of simple things you can do. You can just tell a grown-up some of your worries, and sometimes just by sharing them, that makes things seem a little bit easier. So I was thinking about the title of the book, Silly Billy, and I thought the author's not saying that Billy is silly. Billy thinks he's silly for worrying about all those things, maybe things he kind of knows won't happen. But that's okay, and that's quite normal, isn't it, to have all sorts of worries, especially if you've got a good imagination. But it's important too to deal with those worries, and I think Billy's got a great idea. So I hope you enjoyed the story, whether you're somebody who's got worries of your own or not. So I've got some good news for us, Sea Otters, and I'm quite excited about this. Quite soon, your parents are going to get an email from school, and the email will be an invitation for you to join a meeting online with me and some of the other people in Sea Otters class. It's because we're probably not going to be together again in our classroom in school, so it would be lovely for us to reconnect and for me to be able to have a real chat with you. So I'm really excited about this. All the information will be in the email, so your grown-ups will need to help you set it up, and there'll be a certain time in the email that you need to come online and you'll be able to see me, but talk to me for real. So you can see me now, but you can talk back, but I won't be able to hear you, I'm afraid. But in our online meeting, you will be able to talk to me and I can answer you, and you'll see a few of your friends and they'll be able to talk to you. So we're hoping that's something that you'd like to do, and I really hope that you'll join us. It doesn't matter whether you've been doing the online learning that I've set or not. I'd really like you just to come and see me at that online meeting. So for the first session, we thought it'd be a nice idea to have a sort of show and tell online. So think of something that you've done during lockdown, or some work that you're really proud of, or some pictures you've drawn, whatever it is you'd like to show us. You'll have a minute or so to have a chat and show up and hold, just like I've held up the book. You'll be able to hold up your thing that you want to show up me and your friends, and we can share together like that. So that will be the first session, so have a think what it might be that you'd like to share with me. And I can't wait to see what you've chosen, and I can't wait to see you too. So keep looking after yourself, everybody. Stay safe. Try not to have too many worries, and remember to tell a grown-up if you have. And I can't wait to see you, so look out for that email. Bye for now. See you, Otters.